And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we are talking about addiction, and we're talking about doing what you hate to do in order for you to succeed with seed retention and Nofap. You might be addicted today. You might not be. Awesome if you're not. But if you're not addicted to PMO, Nofap, and you've already succeeded that part of your life, fantastic, but you'll probably have other things in your life where you've got some sort of bad behavior. So just apply the things that I'm going to share with you today, to that aspect of your life. But for the rest of you guys who are still struggling with PMO and you want to succeed with Nofap and seed retention, listen up. This is for you. There's two things that you do not want to do. You don't want to do PMO, meaning you don't want to be addicted. But number two, you do not want to do the solution to getting rid of that addiction. You know, there is actually a solution, one solution alone, that will actually help you to get out of that addiction once and for all, forever. Now, some people might disagree with this solution, but trust me, over time, if you actually apply these things, you're going to succeed. And I'm explaining to you simply and clearly throughout this video what that is and how it works. What you want to be doing is to do the thing that you hate doing, to strengthen your resolve to not do the thing that you feel like doing, okay? So doing what you hate so that you're strengthening your commitment and resolve to not do the thing that you feel like doing. An addiction, PMO, that crap is because of how you feel. Rationally, you understand Nofap, you understand seed retention, and you know that you want to succeed and you want to get that out of your life for good. Rationally, you understand that. Emotionally, when you're in the moment, you don't. Or you forget that you were supposed to rationally stay on track. It's a problem, obviously, and you want to fix that problem. The solution to the problem of instant gratification is delayed gratification, right? The solution to getting rid of instant gratification is delayed gratification. Instant gratification is feminine. Delayed gratification is masculine. Which one do you want? You want femininity to feel your emotions and be stuck there forever? Being controlled by your emotions, being controlled by your body, being controlled, a slave? Or do you want to be free? You want to be masculine. You want to have mind over matter, where you decide where to take your life and how your attitude and your life experience is at any given moment in time. You get to choose this day in and day out. But if you haven't made that decision, you need to make that decision once and then stick to it long term. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but at some point in time, you've got to make a strong decision to cut all other options off. That's what decide means. It's decision, right? Scissors. To cut off. That's what needs to get done. To cut off all other options. Okay, so masculinity is the solution. And then you're like, okay, so I want to be masculine. I want to apply the solution to get me to stop doing the thing that I feel like doing. Well, what is masculinity? Do you know what masculinity is? If you're part of this channel, you'll know what masculinity is. It's the ability to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. In the beginning, you're not masculine. You're feminine because you can't control yourself, right? So what you need is an environment. I could make a whole video on just this. You're feminine right now, which means that you need a different environment than what you have had while being in this circumstance and this addiction that you've been for years and years on end. You need an environment change. You can no longer stay at your house. You can no longer stay in your room. You need to get out of the environment and in an environment where you have to go. So you're basically a slave today, if you're still stuck with this addiction. So you've got to transfer that slavery to somewhere else. Slavery is okay if it's eventually going to get you out of slavery. Do you get what I'm saying? What you want to do is to transfer your environment of slavery in your home where there is no exit. You're going to be stuck there forever if you keep going, and you'll be a social recluse if you're not already, and that's a problem, which you're here to have solved, right? I'm giving you the solution. Solution is masculinity. How do you get masculine? How do you be able to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors? You got to do stuff that you hate doing. That's the only way that you're going to strengthen your resolve to not do the things that you feel like doing. You feel like being in your house. You feel like eating like crap. You feel like doing PMO. You feel like being stuck in the moment. Now, a lot of the time you feel like, I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to feel that way, blah, 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 blah. So you're torn. You're indecisive. Which is better than being decisive that you're going to stay in that situation forever. Obviously you can't, because there's an exponential decline curve to worse and worse conditions if you stay. So at least you're in the indecisive mode, right? And you'll be there until you're out of the addiction. You'll still be indecisive. But we've got to strengthen that resolve so that the decision can be made and then you stick to that decision long term. The solution is masculinity, but the masculinity that I'm talking about is work. Massive work ethic. If you know anyone who's truly masculine, they're going to have a massive work ethic. Like absolutely huge, massive work ethic. You can't call a man masculine if he doesn't have a massive work ethic. It doesn't work like that. He must have a massive work ethic. Why? Because it's about controlling his thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. That's why. He knows that if he works and puts in the effort that's necessary for him to get his dreams and goals, that requires work, he will actually get his dreams and goals. Like in the masculine man's mind, he knows rationally that he'll get everything in life that he desires. He just needs to find the solutions for it. The solutions are all around us for how to get what he wants, which is ultimate joy, bliss, and happiness. At any given moment in time, forever. He can have that as long as he finds the solution to achieve that. And those solutions require work. And guess what? Once he gets those solutions and figures that out, that masculinity takes work, he actually becomes work. Work becomes a part of him. Because truth is that which works. And if he's a man of truth, which is masculinity, then he'll work. So then he finds out that work is actually what I want to have with me for the rest of my life. Masculinity. The solution to getting rid of addiction and PMO and all of that crap that you've been stuck with for years is work. Massive work ethic. But guess what? Because you're feminine, femininity doesn't like work. Femininity wants to play. Femininity wants to have fun and enjoy themselves all the time. So they don't want to work. That's the circumstance you're in if you're addicted. You're feminine. So if you want to become a man, you want to become masculine, obviously you'll have to do something that you don't want to do. Because your femininity wants to stay where you are. So at some point you've got to make a decision. Do you want to be masculine or do you want to remain in your femininity? Do you want to be free or do you want to be in slavery forever? In order for you to become free, you have to be a slave for a time to someone else other than your emotions. Meaning you rationally have to follow someone who keeps you accountable on the road to you being free, eventually. It doesn't look like freedom when you actually start to delve into that work ethic aspect. It really doesn't. It's absolutely horrific in the beginning. Guess what? This is what's going to happen. Doing what you hate doing consistently and over a long period of time, because we need time, okay? You've been stuck in this circumstance for years. If you're 20 years old and you started watching that stuff and PMOing, let's say 10 years ago, 8 years ago, you really think that it's going to take you a few weeks to get over that addiction? Probably not, right? It's going to require maybe a few months, maybe a few years. But if you actually apply the stuff that I teach you on this channel, what I'm teaching you in this video, it's not going to take years. It's going to take a few months for you to rewire your brain and get on track to a completely new environment that actually is conducive for you not being addicted. You're rewiring your brain completely towards masculinity, towards being able to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Because guess what? When you're working for someone, if you have 3 employers, because that's what I recommend, to get 3 jobs, low paid, menial task, whatever you need to do in order to get out of your house, get away from a laptop, and go out and serve people. You know what you have to do? Well, you kind of have to control your behavior at work, don't you? Or else you'll be fired. You kind of have to control your emotions because things are going to happen that you don't enjoy. And you'll have to have a good attitude, independent of circumstances, even though the boss yelled at you or even though the customer is being difficult. You're going to have to, no matter what, control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. You're practicing masculinity. Guess what? Only feminine guys ever get fired. I've never gotten fired in my entire life. Why on earth would you ever get fired? Okay? Fired means femininity. So if you get fired, there's a problem and you need to get better. And you need to be the one that has the best attitude at work and the one that's fired up outside of his brain. Okay? So anyway, you have to go through hell to get to heaven. The next step after that is being able to make heaven out of any hell. The next step is to be able to make heaven out of any hell. So let's say you actually start this journey that I recommend. You got 3 jobs. Your attitude is absolutely horrible in the beginning. Your attitude is getting better and better and better over time because you're listening to this channel. You're getting the positivity and the hope about the future is going to be different. It's going to change because you're becoming... Over time, you're now having an attitude independent of circumstances gradually over time. And people begin to look at you and be like, this guy works 80 hours a week. He's got 3 jobs and he's smiling and he's happy. What the flip is wrong with that guy? Awesome. That's what we want. You've literally now made heaven out of any hell. Do you see how this is going to give you not just joy, bliss, and happiness in the long term, becoming masculine at the end of the rainbow, but you become joyful, blissful, and happy right now on the journey because you're progressing towards that end destination that you desire. It's freaking awesome. So, the key to all of this is desire. And like I stated before, you're in your femininity. This is your environment currently. You don't have 3 jobs. And getting those 3 jobs is going to be extremely uncomfortable. But guess what? The reason why you're not free from this addiction of being stuck is because you don't want freedom badly enough. You don't have enough desire for freedom. Because if you did, you would do whatever it takes in order to get that freedom. Whatever it takes. That would be applying for 100 jobs every single day. Do you apply for 100 jobs every single day? No, you don't. Right? if you're unemployed, or if you're in the beginning phase of trying to get your freedom. You got to be able to do whatever it takes. Why? Because that's what's necessary. Freedom is not given lightly. And if you've been stuck for years, it's time to get that freedom, at least from that. The cool part is that if you follow this channel, if you follow the system that I outline, you'll become a multi-millionaire at the end of this. You will. It's impossible for you not to if if you're a normal guy with normal brain function and you can actually follow this program. It's impossible for you not to become a multimillionaire, because I'm giving you guys the basics of what those people have done in order for them to get where they are. The basics is fueling yourself with desire. Desire for an exit strategy. When you work a 40-hour work week or you don't work at all, you're comfortable. It's going to get uncomfortable eventually, but not enough uncomfortability for you to actually get to the land of your dreams. You got to get real uncomfortable right now in order for you to speed up that process where it's so painful that you need an exit strategy now. Not 10 years down the road, or 20 or 40 years down the road after you've got a wife and kids. Now, when you're single, when you've got no responsibilities, this is the time to be fueled by desire. And you won't be fueled by desire if you're wasting it on PMO, and or if you are just working a little bit and getting paid and being okay with that. It's not conducive for growth. It's not conducive for masculinity. And you're not going to get what you want, and you're not going to get ultimate freedom. Time and money freedom. Okay, that's that next level freedom that we're moving you towards, right? So if it's all in the desire, then the question becomes, okay, I've had this from one of my clients. What if the solution doesn't work? Okay, because I'm telling you, PMO is the addiction, or any other addiction that you've got. Work ethic, serving other people, is the solution. It's not only the solution to PMO, but it's the solution to move towards masculinity. It's the solution towards controlling your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It's the solution for pretty much every problem that you have probably right now, okay? Unless it's like a massive health problem, okay, that needs to be focused on right now, or you'll die. Great. Then do that. Focus on that and get your health back on track. But other than that, 80-hour work week is going to solve all of your problems. Okay, and if you have a problem that is not solvable with the 80-hour work week, DM me on Instagram and ask me, is this solvable with the 80-hour work week? And let's figure it out. But I'm telling you, the 80-hour work week solves so many problems. It's ridiculous. I even got a video called that. Okay, but the question of my client was, what if it doesn't work? What if the 80-hour work week doesn't work to solve my addiction problem? What if I do the 80-hour work week and then when I stop, I go back to my addiction? My answer to that every time is, why would you ever stop doing the 80-hour work week? Why? Don't. It's part of masculinity. It's who you are. It's what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. And it's going to strengthen your commitment. It's going to strengthen your resolve. It's going to help you to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, because you're doing something that you hate doing in the beginning. Eventually, you'll enjoy it and it'll become part of who you are. But in the beginning, you hate it. But that's necessary. Because if you hate something passionately, it increases your commitment to get out of it. Right? And it comes back down to this. The 80-hour work week is a strategy, right? So let's say we don't know that that's a strategy that works and solves PMO. Okay, because that's what he tells me. I don't believe that that's going to work. Okay, let's just handle that one. Who cares if it doesn't work? What you're increasing is your ability to do hard things that you do not want to do. Do you want to do it? No. Fantastic. Then you have to do it, because that's going to strengthen your desire and strengthen your commitment to find a strategy that does work. Okay, so I'm telling you this as if 80-hour work week is not the solution for all your problems, but it is. Okay? So I'm helping you guys to see that even if that solution didn't work, it's worth trying it out. Like full on, full blown, like 3 to 6 months, try the 80-hour work week and see if your condition is not way better than it was when you didn't do the 80-hour work week. You'll notice a massive difference, and fast. Your life will be transformed as a result of it in a positive direction. The commitment to the strategy is more important than the strategy. What we want to do is to increase your commitment, hardcore, and it doesn't matter what strategy we use, as long as it increases your commitment. Right? So, really, if you think about masculinity, it's to be committed and to be confident. Increasing your commitment levels in any strategy is a powerful tool towards being able to be committed to any strategy that you apply in the future to getting everything in life that you desire. It's the commitment that we're trying to get to. Which commitment? The commitment to having made that decision to do or to not do what you wanted or not wanted to do. Is your desire and your commitment level increasing every single day? If it's not, if it's the same level of desire and commitment as previously or as months and years, you're doing something wrong. You're not doing things that you hate doing. You got to start there. Okay? Figure out what you hate doing. Start the process of beginning to love it. Do it, love it, and then you'll actually be able to get rid of the stuff that you don't want to do. Just because you feel like doing it, you'll be able to say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this instead. So I hope that you guys absolutely love this video. I put it together for you guys to be able to not have any addictions in your life. No bad behaviors whatsoever. And if you can apply these principles, listen to this video 10 times. Okay, that's what you got to do with some gold nugget videos that I send out to you guys. Because one step at a time, your resolve, your desire, your commitment, your masculinity is going to take you where you want to go. It's inevitable. You will succeed. I have another video called Your Success is 100% Predictable. If you apply the principles that I teach. It's 100% predictable. It's not luck that the people who are rich, who didn't inherit it, who actually started from scratch, had nothing and became rich. It's not luck, guys. In fact, it's actually quite easy once you're on the path and you've made a commitment and you're sticking to it. It's just a numbers game and having the humility to learn from other people who've gone before you and then having the massive work ethic to apply the stuff that they're teaching. That's it. And if you can do that repetitively, consistently over a long period of time, you will arrive. That's what I want to share with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Or should we handle the questions? Let's handle the questions. How do you get over the pain in your brain when you're doing something you don't want to do? You keep doing it, right? That's the pain. Actually, the pain that you're feeling in your brain when you're doing something you don't want to do, that is literally the rewiring of your brain happening as we speak. Like in that exact moment that you're feeling that the tension going on in your brain of the indecisiveness, I want to quit. This is absolutely horrible. I feel like I'm dying. You keep going because that's the rewiring of your brain happening. Your masculinity is happening right there. So actually, if you're not getting that, then it's not good enough. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not, if it doesn't become uncomfortable in your brain, you're not moving towards masculinity. So the pain that you feel in your brain is absolutely fantastic. And not only that, it is necessary. I have a client right now going through this exact same thing where he really wants to quit his job, but he said he's going to keep it until he's gotten complete, gotten completely over the relapsing aspect, and he's gonna stick there. He really doesn't want to, but we've made a commitment, and I'm working with him to make sure he doesn't quit, because if he keeps going, that rewiring that's happening right now, man, I'm fired up outside my brain, because that rewiring right there is gonna revolutionize every single aspect of his life. Everything. Like, I live for the day where you get that pain in your brain, where you're just like, I just can't do it anymore, I can't do it. As long as you don't become like deathbed type of sick, okay, type of situation, because then you need to go back to your health. You can't serve anyone if you're dying, right? But as long as you're being wise about what you're doing, and you get the necessary sleep, always get the 8 hours of sleep, you get the proper nutrition that you need to eat, and then you maintain your situation with some form of exercise. It doesn't have to be a lot, but some form of exercise. It's impossible for you to have health problems while you're doing the 80-hour work week, right? Just, don't get any accidents from work, right? But that's it. As long as you don't have that, then that pain is absolutely fantastic, and you should love it. Okay, so to add more of a context, I have low self-belief. I feel like I'll put the work in and it won't pay off, making it a waste of energy and time. This is exactly what I'm explaining in this video. It's like, what if it don't work? What if it's a waste of time? What if I did it for no reason? And the fact that you did something that you hated doing strengthened your commitment and resolve automatically, which means that it was definitely worth the time and effort that you put in. Like, it's impossible for you not to get the value that you wanted from doing the thing that you hated doing, because you went against your emotions. You're saying no, right? It's like you have to look at your emotions as the little bitch inside you, right? Where you have strong enough resolve to not be that nice guy who does something for a woman because she asked you to, and you can't say no because she's more powerful than you are. No, this is the same thing going on in here. You have to say no to the emotion, right? You have to, I'm not doing it. Nope. No. And you have to be okay with having said no. While the screaming and tossing and turning and want to slap you in the face and all that stuff that women might want to do in the future to you, right? Or have done to you in the past, but you still have to stick to your no because of this and that and the other. It's the same situation where you've got a bitch inside, and you've got to be able to say no to her, okay? Because it's you and her. Inside you, it's you. But you got to get to the point where you're obeying him, the man inside, okay? That will give you everything that you want, if that makes sense. Okay, on day 22, one day I feel great, and one day I feel all emotional and in my feelings. When will this end? Day 30. Pretty much, actually. It's the first 30 days, emotions all over the place, and you can't predict what's going to happen. Day 30, it's done. Now it's beginning to become predictable. So just stick it out. Can't focus on my 80-hour work week, NSR. It's like I work 10 hours in the first day, and on the second day I work 13 hours, and then I don't have that mentality to keep going. You're not listening to my videos enough. Are you listening to me 2 hours a day, 4 hours a day, 6 hours a day? If you're like, obviously maybe you can't do that because you're working 12 hours, right? But if it's the first thing that hits your brain, it's like one of your favorite videos from my channel. It just hits your brain in the morning, you wake up, or you manage to listen to it in the shower, you just like, you get it. Do you get what I'm saying? You get the information in, you get fired up, you need things to kind of help you to do it. The other problem here that you're struggling with, Alexander, is the aspect of self-employment as well. If you have a self-employed job where, like Uber or delivering food or whatever it is, you're relying on yourself to make a decision to go to work, because you're not going to get fired if you don't show up for work. This is one of the reasons why having a job with a boss that's on your case every single day is actually better than being self-employed, because you'll actually be punished if you don't show up and if you don't produce when you're actually there. So I don't recommend self-employment. It gives you the inconsistency because you're still feminine and you're still environmental and you don't want to follow the rational aspect of this philosophy. You just want to listen to your emotions and go play video games or whatever it is that you're doing. And that's a problem. So just my 2 cents on that. How to react if you feel insulted. Check out my video. Oh, what's it called? Just search Men of High Value, Angry. And you'll find my thoughts on anger. Because it's feminine. I'm fired up outside my brain. I'm fired outside my frying pan. That's what he said. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are awesome. I'll see you in the next one.